Hello friends, I'm sorry I should have posted this video in the last week of February. Ideally I should have made this video and posted it in the last week of February. I have delayed this by 15 to 20 days. My sincere apologies for the same, but better late than never, as they say. In this video I will be discussing about the transit of Rahu in the Gemini sign and that of Ketu or the south node in the Sagittarius sign. This transit has already started. Rahu or the north node has moved to the Gemini sign on the 7th of March. Ketu has moved to the Sagittarius sign on the same date. They will be here in this particular sign for 1.5 years, which is till September 2020. So it's a long transit. It's a period of 1.5 years. And how will this transit be for the 12 signs? And if you have seen my other transit video, you are aware that I look at transits from moon sign. That's the most important. I'm not saying ascendant is not important. I'm not saying ascendant doesn't work. But when you look at the transit, as far as my research is concerned, I give most importance to the moon sign. And I have seen that if you look from the moon sign and predict and analyze a chart, it will give you great results. My name is Hardik and you're watching my YouTube channel, AstroKeen. I will be discussing about the Rahu and Ketu transit to Gemini and Sagittarius respectively. So let's start. What happens when Rahu moves to Gemini or Rahu is in Gemini, and what happens when Ketu is in Sagittarius? Now if we look at the Kala Chakra chart, Gemini is the 3rd house and Sagittarius is the 9th house. Now this is a position from a sign and also from a house point of view. These two planets are pretty comfortable. In Gemini sign and in 3rd house, Rahu does very well, because Rahu is a malefic planet. Malefic planet usually do well in 3rd house, 6th house, 11th house, in the Upachaya houses. So they really do well there. So Rahu does very well in the 3rd house. And Ketu does really well in the 9th house. Now 9th house is about pilgrimage, 9th house is about higher learning, 9th house is about spirituality, 9th house is about luck, your father. So Ketu as a spiritual planet will do well in 9th house. Similarly, Rahu is a planet of imagination, is a planet of which is about fame. Rahu is about foreign lands, Rahu is about travel, Rahu is about hallucination, Rahu is about expansion. So Rahu does pretty well in the 3rd house because it's a 3rd house is Upachaya house, and Rahu and Malefic does really well there. Now, so what happens when this Rahu goes to the 3rd house and Ketu goes to the 9th house? Is these kind of people generally, if Rahu is in the 3rd house and Ketu is in the 9th house, and I'll come to sign wise analysis, but generically, if you look from a general way, if you look Rahu in the 3rd house and Ketu in the 9th house, these are the people who are very courageous. These are the people who are good in electronics engineering, who are good in writing stuff. These are the people who can be spiritual also in the same time, because Ketu is in the 9th house. These are the people who try to learn new stuff in the field of religion, in the field of healing, or in the field of astrology. Even you can see combination like this of an astrologer. These are the people who loves traveling to holy places to learn more things, to learn great things. And this is what happens when Rahu is in your 3rd house and Ketu is in the 9th house. Now let's look at how this transit will be when you're analyzing each of these moon signs, starting from Aries till Pisces. Now let's start with Aries. Now This Aries transit will be very auspicious because Rahu goes to your third house and Ketu goes to your ninth house. This is like the natal chart, as I just discussed, chart where Rahu is in the third house and Ketu in the ninth house. You will be courageous, you will be brave, you will be confident, you'll be interested to write things, you will have good relationship with your siblings, you will be interested in learning new things related to religion stuff or spirituality. You will be interested to meditate. Good time to go the spiritual path. Good time to learn, read about spiritual or religion articles, religion literatures, like a Quran or a Bible or a Gita. Good time to travel to holy places, to learn good things. This is a transit which will be auspicious for you, which will be good for you. For people whose moon sign is Aries, Jupiter is currently in a difficult position. It's in the 8th house. Saturn is in a 9th house. So the Saturn and Jupiter, when you look into the transit, these are the three most important transit you look into. The North Node and South Node transit, which is Rahu and Ketu transit, Saturn transit and Jupiter transit. The Saturn and Jupiter transit are not great for you. So this transit will bring some kind of relief because Rahu now goes into a good phase and Ketu goes to a good house as well. Previously, Rahu was in your 4th house. As I've already told you, Rahu and Ketu are always retrograde in motion. So they have moved from Cancer to Gemini. Similarly, what happens for a native whose moon is in Taurus? So for Taurus moon sign people, Jupiter is in a good position. Saturn is not in a very good position. And Rahu, which was in a good position on the 3rd house, has now moved to your 2nd house, and Ketu, which was in your 9th house, has moved to your 8th house. Now, for people with Taurus moon sign, these are the people who will have fear and anxiety. These are the people who will try to explore things underground. This is also a good time to go the spiritual way because 8th house is about healing, about Reiki, is about astrology, is about occult science. So you will show interest in that particular field. Try to maintain good relationship with your family members because Rahu is a planet which can take you in the wrong way, maybe with the wrong imagination. You may try to do things which are not right. It will show the right in a wrong way and the wrong in the right way. So you have to be careful of that particular stuff of Rahu when Rahu goes to your 2nd house. Take care of your communication. Take care of your wealth. You may spend a lot of money. So be careful of that fact. Take care of your assets. Take care of your family. Be good to your family. Do not get carried away. Try to adjust if there are some conflicts with your family members. This is not a great transit for you, but the Jupiter transit will definitely support you at least for the next 7 and 8 months. And if you go the spiritual way, it will definitely help you. Now let's come to the 3rd sign, which is Gemini. For Gemini moon sign people, Rahu was in your 2nd house. Rahu has moved to your 1st house. Ketu was in the 8th house, which has moved to the 7th house. These are the people who will think a lot about themselves. Try to maintain good relationship with your spouse, with your partners, because you may start getting a little isolated from them because Ketu moves to your 7th house, and Ketu is a planet which is not into relationship. So Ketu tries to stay away from relationships. So try to build a good relationship with your partner, with your spouse, if you're into business, with your business partners, and so on. Take care of yourself, think about yourself, but don't get carried away, don't get overconfident, don't indulge in thinking a lot about yourself. That will definitely help you. You'll be confident, you may sometime be aggressive, you may sometime be may think a lot about yourself and get anxious, so do take care of that. Now what happens for a Cancer moon sign people? Now for Cancer moon sign people, Rahu moves to your 12th house and Ketu moves to your 6th house. Now these are the people who may travel abroad. These are the people who may buy property outside their homeland. These are the people who may, who may go and stay for this 1.5 years in abroad, or may go for some trips, may go for traveling. Now, do take care of your health, because Ketu is a headless planet, and Ketu gets confused in the 6th house. So do take care of your health, do take care of your enemies. If you think some of these people or some people around you are not really good with you, stay away from them. Don't get into fights, don't get into mess. Do take care of your health, as I said before. Now for the Leo moon sign people, Ketu moves to your 5th house and Rahu moves to 11th house. This can bring a lot of monetary gains for you. This can bring a lot of gains from other sides of life also, because Rahu again does well in the 11th house. Now Ketu in the 5th house, you have to be extra cautious about your children, because Ketu, wherever Ketu is, and which I've already explained, you can watch my Ketu and Rahu video, which I've made individual videos about them. Wherever Ketu goes to, or wherever Ketu is in your native chart, you have already accomplished that particular thing in your previous life. So you are pretty comfortable, pretty satisfied with that field. So that is not very important for you. So if Ketu moves to your 5th house, children suddenly may not become very important for you, but you have to take care of them, because it's just a small phase of 1.5 years. So be and develop a good relationship with your children. Now wherever Rahu goes, or wherever Rahu is your native chart, you are really wanting to do that particular thing in your life. You do not have expertise in that field. So you have taken the birth. If you believe in birth and rebirth, you have taken the birth to accomplish that particular thing. So you may be desperate to make friends if Rahu moves to your 11th house. And then you may take shortcut to make friends and may fall in trouble. So be careful of that. But gains is possible if you go the hard way, do hard work. You'll definitely you'll definitely gain in whatever field you are putting in your hard work. Now what happened for Virgo? For Virgo moon sign people, Rahu moves to the 10th house and Ketu moves to the 4th house. Good time for spiritual activities, good time to stay in your homeland, good time to build relationship with your mother. You will have good professional life, you will do well professionally, but don't take any shortcuts. Try to be good with your subordinates or with your colleagues, with your boss. Be obedient, be supportive, and do not get into fights with them. That's what is very important. Or else this is not a bad transit. Rahu does pretty well in the 10th house. Ketu does pretty well in the 4th house. So it's a pretty decent transit. Now what happens for Libra moon sign people? Now for Libra moon sign people, it is just the opposite of Aries. Ketu goes to your 3rd house and Rahu goes to the 9th house. Now Rahu does really well in the 3rd house and Ketu does really well in the 9th house. But when they interchange the position, or when Ketu goes to the 3rd house and when Rahu is in the 9th house, it's not a great combination to have. Now what happens is that you may go the religious way in a wrong way. You may think that what you know is correct. You may think that I know it all in the field of religion and may get into fight. Or you may have some different kind of thought may come across, which you have to be careful. Your relationship with your father may have some kind of friction. So you need to be careful of that. Of course, when you're reading a transit, do look into other transits as well, which is extremely important. And you have to give it very, very, you have to give it a lot of importance. But the good thing about Libra moon sign people is your Jupiter and Saturn are really doing well. The transit of Jupiter and Saturn. Jupiter in the 2nd house, Saturn in the 3rd house. So this transit will not be very difficult, because Jupiter and Saturn will support you. And Saturn is there in your 3rd house for some time. You've just come out of Sade Sati. So do not really worry about this, but be careful of not going the wrong way from a religion point of view, and also maintain good relationship with your siblings and with your father. Good time to write about spirituality, but it has to be logical. Be careful of that particular fact. Now what happens for Scorpio moon sign people? For Scorpio moon sign people, Rahu moves to your 8th house and Ketu moves to your 2nd house. These are the people who have to take care of their health. These are the people who may get anxious, who may get fear. But this is a good time to go the spiritual way. Maintain good relationship with your family members, because Ketu again is a planet which wants to be isolated, which wants to remain isolated, but family is important, so try to build good relationship with them. Good time to learn about occult if you're interested in the same, or astrology, or for that matter Reiki, Ayurveda, etc. Also take care of accidents. There may be possibility of some accidents, some injuries that may happen to you, not necessarily, because other things has to be taken care of, but be careful of that. Now let's move to Sagittarius moon sign people. For Sagittarius moon sign people, Ketu moves to your first house and Rahu moves to your 7th house. Now these are the people who should maintain good relationship with your partner. Do not get indulged in other relationship. Be caring towards your partner, and also do take care of yourself. Do not get too isolated, but you may want to remain isolated, because Ketu is in the 1st house. At the same time, Rahu is in the 7th house. So you have to be very careful of that particular fact. Of course, isolation is not bad. Sometimes you need to search your soul. You need to think a lot. You need to be logical. You need to be, if you're in a research field, it's great to be in isolation. So if you're in that kind of a field, it's great opportunity for you to learn more things. But at the same time, be sure that your relationship with other people is not getting affected. And do take care of yourself, because when Ketu is in the 1st house, people start not really getting interested about them. Because as I said, Ketu in the 1st house, Ketu has already accomplished that, so they're not interested about that aspect of life, and 1st house is about you. So you may not be really interested about yourself. So do take care of that. Now let's move to the next moon sign, which is the Capricorn moon sign. For Capricorn moon sign people, Ketu moves to the 12th house, Rahu moves to the 6th house. Good position. Rahu really does well in the 6th house. Your enemies, you will win over your enemies. If you have enemies, you can fight with diseases. You'll get a lot of money, be fortunate. You may go the spiritual path, because Ketu is in the 12th house. Great time to meditate, great time to learn about spirituality, understanding spirituality. You may start following a guru. You may start building a guru. This can also happen for Aries moon sign people, because 9th house is about guru and Ketu moves to your 9th house. So both for Capricorn and for Aries moon sign people, it's good time to have a guru who will guide you, who will tell you what is correct and what is wrong in the path of spirituality. Now what happens with the Aquarius moon sign people? For Aquarius moon sign people, Ketu goes to your 11th house and Rahu goes to your 5th house. Put in extra effort to get gains. It will be a little dicey, so you have to put in extra effort to get gains. Maintain good relationship with your friends. Your friends may find you a little difficult in this 1.5 years, because Ketu moves to your 11th house. Also at the same time, have a good relationship with your children. Don't take them for granted. Don't imagine things related to children. Rahu may take you in the wrong path related to children, so don't go in the wrong way. Try to judge, try to think logically. You may develop interest in creativity. Do learn new arts. Go in the creative field, maybe at least as a hobby or a passion. But that's a good time to explore these things. You may be interested in speculative business. Be careful of that, because Rahu may take you in the wrong way. So be careful if you are entering into speculative fields. Be very, very logical, be very rational, and be very careful if you are entering into speculative business. Now the last moon sign, which is Pisces. For Pisces moon sign people, Ketu moves to your 9th house and Ketu moves to your 10th house and Rahu moves to your 4th house. Now you may not be interested in with your colleagues. You may not be really interested to work. You may get a little lethargic. Be careful of that. Because Ketu moves to your 10th house, so again, as Ketu has accomplished already that part of life, so you may start detaching yourself from your professional life. Be careful of that. Have good relationship with your mother. Do not get too anxious. Your peace of mind may get a little hampered. So be careful of those things. And be sure that you are working hard. These are the people who should have a lot of patience, who should work hard, who should understand their work and should have a good relationship with your mother and also in their professional life, with their colleagues, with their subordinates, with their boss, etc. Now generally, I have covered all the moon sign now. Now generally this is a good transit because Rahu is comfortable in the 3rd house and Ketu is comfortable in the 9th house of a Kala Chakra chart. Gemini is the 3rd house and Sagittarius is the 9th house. So Rahu goes to the 3rd house and or Gemini sign, very comfortable in Gemini. In Sagittarius, Ketu is very comfortable. So generally it's a good transit. Of course, this transit will be better for some of the moon sign, will not be very good for some of the moon sign, but for those moon sign where Rahu and Ketu is not really good or the transit is not really auspicious, do not get disheartened because there are a lot of other things. You may be going through a great Mahadasha. You may be going through a good Antardasha. You may be having a good transit. You may be having a good Jupiter transit. You may be having a good Saturn transit. Like for Libra, the transit may not be great, but Jupiter is going through a great transit. Saturn is going through a great transit. So that will help you. So even if you have a difficult transit, do not look this transit individually. Look into other aspects as well, which I have already always informed in my all videos. That never look into a combination, a transit in isolation. Look holistically. Similarly, if your transit is great, do not get too carried away. Do not get too excited because there can be other transit which may not be good. For Aries, this is a great transit, but your Jupiter and Saturn transit is not very good. So you need to be careful of that fact. So look into that. But I think this video would have given you some information. It's still, the transit has just started, so it's still a 1.5 year period. So make full utilization of this transit. If it's a great transit, take full utilization of that. If it's a difficult transit, then have patience. Try to understand the time will pass or the other combinations are helping you at this point of time. Thank you, friends. If you have any questions, do mention in the comment box. I'll be answering them whenever possible. If you like my video, please share it. Do not forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.